Okay, so once we're starting class, try not to talk while I'm talking. And if you need to, if you have questions to ask me, either you put it in the chat, or if I don't see the chat, you can just raise your hand. You all know how to use the raise hand function, right? Very good. Okay, so now I hope you all have gone through. Okay, most of you didn't. Okay, most of you didn't have the time. So what you needed to do is to actually attempt lesson number 20. So lesson number 20 gives you an overview of the area of triangles if you've not done it yet in school. Okay, and then there'll be an MCQ question, SCQ questions you can submit and you can see your answers. All right. Now, basically, when we talk about area of triangles, now, okay, can anyone tell me what's the formula to find the area of a triangle? Anyone? How do you find area of triangle? Yes, Liana?
Half times length times breadth.
Half times length times breadth. Well, not quite, but for triangles, there's actually special name for the length and special name for the breadth. Anyone? Okay, Evan?
It's half times base times height.
Half times base times height. Okay, that's more like it. So we call it half times base times height. Now, do you know why we got this area formula? So if we look at a rectangle, and I have this. This is the length, this is the breadth, right? So that's why you just now Liana said half times length times breadth. But because we need to make sure that the height is always perpendicular, it must be. So height must be perpendicular to the base. Okay, so the height must always be perpendicular to the base. So if we see this triangle, it's half times length times breadth, but more accurately, it is half times base times height. Because if we have a triangle that looks like this, okay, then this is the perpendicular height, then this becomes the base. Okay, so this is the base and the perpendicular height. All right, so that's why we call the area half times base times height. Now, another thing about this triangle is that whenever you need to find the area of triangle, you must always identify two things. You must always identify where is the base and where is its perpendicular height. Then you can find the area of a triangle. Now, when we talk about a composite figure, or rather a triangle within a rectangle or triangle within a square. For example, this. Now, can I say that the area of the shaded part is half the area of the rectangle? Yes, very good. So Giselle, yes. Everybody, give me a thumbs up if it's correct. Where's your emoticon? Reaction. No reaction. How come? Give me a thumbs up. Yeah, the rest of you, use reactions. Okay, now. Okay, so we have this concept, huh? Now, if I draw a square and a triangle within a square, and I shade these parts here, can I say that the area of the shaded part is half the area of the square or the rectangle? Can I say that? Only Giselle replied. Giselle, use your reaction, Giselle. Giselle called. Yes? Okay, now for those of you who are not familiar, you see, now, if you take this triangle, okay, take this triangle, then I take out this triangle. Okay, then remember this part here? Okay, so what I do is I take this part here and I move and rotate. Okay, I think I can rotate. Okay, now, if I close it up, and I move it, can you imagine this? I will get half of the rectangle, right? Okay, now, in other words, I can also say this. Now, this is the base, and this is the height. Can I say that the height of the triangle is here? Okay, I give you an example, 10 and 10. Let's say this is a square. What's the area of the square? Anyone?
100.
10 times 10 to give me 100. So what is the area of this pink triangle?
10 times. No, half times 10 times 10.
Half?
Times 10 times 10.
Half times 10 times 10.
But it can also do half times 100. It's the same
Can
thing.
also do half times 100. So that means if the area of the pink triangle is 50, the area of the entire square is 100. What can you say about the shaded parts? The lines, the sum of these two shaded parts?
100 minus 50.
100 minus 50. So isn't it the same that the area of the triangle is also half of the square? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So now, so if you were to take another example of a square, a rectangle, and then I have two triangles, and I color them blue. Can I say that the sum of area of the blue triangle is half of the rectangle? Okay, now I give you an
Yes.
example. Let's say the height is 10. 10 is the easiest to count. 10. This is 8. This is 4, for example. Okay, 10, 8, and 4. Now, that means what is the area of the blue triangle A plus B? What's the area of the blue triangle A plus B? Anyone?
That means 8 plus 4, I think.
So area of triangle. So you must find area of triangle, right? Area of triangle of A is half times base times height, which is 10. That's for A. And for B will be half times 4 times 10. So this is for B. So what's the sum of the triangles?
4 times 8 times 10 for A.
40
Yeah.
plus 20 to give me
60.
60.
60. Now, what do you think is the area of the big? What is the area of this big rectangle?
10 times 12.
10 times 12.
12.
Because
So
you can
10
add the 8
times
and
12 equals to 120.
20.
Okay, so the area of the big rectangle is 120. The area of A plus B is 60. So what can you say about it? Is it half of the rectangle? Is it
Yeah.
half of the rectangle? Yes.
Yes, it
So which
is.
means that as long as the triangles have a common height, their base must add up to give you, so their base must add up to give you the length of the rectangle, then the sum of the areas of the triangles will be half of the rectangle. Okay? You remember that?
Yeah.
Okay, we recap this again later as we do the questions, okay? So now, let's try the question 1. Shall we? Are you all ready? Okay. Now, so we have a square, PQRS. So this is a square. Given that PR is 30. So this line here is 30. Now, what is the name of the line PR in a square?
Half. It's the height.
No, what is the name of the line? So I have a square, right? So when I join point to point, what is this line called?
The
Half.
No, it's not the height. What is that line called in a square? Okay, like my
Half.
square doesn't look like a square.
half.
What is that line called?
Half.
It starts with the
Oh.
letter D.
There's an equal amount.
It starts with the letter D. What is that line?
Dissector. Dissecting.
It's called a
Divider.
diagonal.
Oh.
Okay, it's called a diagonal. Okay, so when so that means when you draw from point to point, the diagonal, it cuts the square in exactly into
Half.
2. So it cuts the square into half. So the area of each triangle that is formed by the diagonal will be equal to each other. And the sum will give you the area of the square. So the diagonal cuts the square into 2 equal triangle. So if I were to draw another diagonal, what do you think is the length of that diagonal? The length of the diagonal will also be... Okay, nobody wants to try? The length of the diagonal will also be how much? Very good, Evan. Okay, so that means because it cuts at this point here, so all these are equal. So if I look at this, can I color this purple? Now, if I look at this triangle, can I find the area of this triangle? This is 15, 15. Can I find the area of the triangle? Anyone? Area of triangle PQR. What do I have? Anyone wants to try?
225.
Ooh, how do you get 225? So the formula is half times, what's the base? The base is your diagonal, right? The base
Yes.
is your diagonal, 30 times the height is here. This is at 90 degrees. When the diagonal cuts each other, it forms at 90, it cuts at 90 degrees. So that's 15. So that's when you get 225. Okay? So that is only half the area of triangle. So you want to find the area of the square. So what do I do? Anyone? How do you find the area of the square? 7. Okay, anyone? You want to try? Anyone wants to try? Area of square?
225 times 2.
225 times 2. Okay, because we found one triangle, so the entire square will be 450 cm squared. Okay, all right. Any
Wait.
questions, anyone?
What is the this one? Can I annotate?
No, you cannot annotate because I'm actually sharing screen. So unfortunately, you can annotate.
Wait, but-
Yes.
I don't understand. Area of what PQR?
Triangle PQR.
Oh.
Okay. Giselle, okay.
Yeah. Wait. I'm copying now.
Giselle, can I just call you Giselle and I call Giselle the other one as Giselle 47, Ken?
Okay.
Is that okay? Giselle 47, okay? I call you Giselle 47. All right. Okay. Now, anyone taking it down?
Me.
Okay. The rest of you, do you have a question to the next one? We'll look at question number 2. Okay, the rest of you can look at question number 2.
Okay, I'm done.
Okay. All right. So